I'm Ayla.
I'm Mickey.
And I'm Aaron, aka Be Lucky.
You're watching
MD90.
That's right. And we the unapologetic.
Nomadic.
Well, Brian Mundubile seems to be taking the lead in the opposition. Most of the cards are aligning in his favor. But one conversation that has come up is who's likely to be his running mate. For a while, Makebi Zulu was being floated as the possible running mate. And now the lady, this is Lundazi member of parliament, is being floated as a possible candidate. And Savoy Mboira is the one that is pushing this agenda mostly. That's the president of the party that was led by Shimbagambuli at some point. And she says, this combination makes a good one for president and running mate also. We don't want to see two men in the driving seat. Can people's parties and alliances be serious with gender equality? We have many women that have the capacity to do the job well and even better than men. And I see one such woman in this photo. So he says this lady is supposed to be the running mate. That's according to Saboyi Mboera. In August, it should not just be about regional balancing, but gender equality, capacity, intelligence, and experience, etc. It should be considered, to be considered for the top job and vice president. And as a woman, we are, and as women, we are here. Plenty of women that can fill those positions and more. Some of us are going for the top job. So we also want an awesome running mate to, she says. What is there's been this push, and according to this one says Zambia for 2026, it said Shimba Kambwiri and Makebi Zulu have all agreed to support Mundubile. This statement has not been endorsed by either Shimba Kambwiri publicly, neither has Makebi Zulu confirmed that. But it seems like whichever team that seems to be supporting Mulbrand Mundubile are pushing that narrative to say some sort of endorsement has come through. If you remember, just yesterday, not even a couple of days ago, just yesterday, there was a circulation to say Tonse Alliance, which is led by Brand Mundubile, has appointed Tesira Lungu, former Edgar Chagwa Lungu's daughter, or pretty much the late president's daughter, as the national youth chairperson for Tonse Alliance. And she's neither confirmed or denied that appointment, but there is one section that was saying otherwise. This news headline is the same thing. And JJ Banda, the man that is in exile, the former Petauke member of parliament, was one who was quick to reshare that headline to say Shimba Kambwili and Makebi Zulu have endorsed Brian Mundubile or have all agreed to support Brian Mundubile, which I highly doubt. But anyway, let's go with that headline. And according to JJ Banda, I said, breaking news, unity of purpose. This is leadership now. I can now start packing my bags and head back home. My children, I will see you. JJ Banda wants to come back home, seriously. He's tired of living outside Zambia. He really is counting on the unity of the opposition so they can unseat Aka in the HMR in August and probably allow him to come back to Zambia. And yeah, so he's counting on that, but I don't see that happening. And there's been this screenshot that has been making rounds where Makebi, what's his name? Brandon Mundubile had made a post, and then Shimba Kambwili commented, says, well done, team. So, and you can see Brandon Mundubile in the center there, and a number of other PF political Central Committee members. And says Commonwealth leadership led by Charles Kawita, PF Kitwe District Youth Chairman, and PF Commonwealth Youth Treasurer, also well known as Ward aspiring candidate Eddie Zulu, popularly known as Zedis, visited Brian Munduwile there, and to which you can see Chimbagambui's comment like 2 hours ago, says, well done, team. And I don't know if that's a screenshot or, I mean, that's a Photoshop thing, but yeah, there's that agenda pretty much trying to say Chimbagambuili and Makebi Zulu have endorsed Brandon Ndwele, but neither has confirmed or denied that. So we just wait for the official announcement, but obviously that's been pushed. On the other hand, Lungu family vows not to default appeal against a repatriation order. So the Supreme Court case in South Africa continues of the late President Edgar Chagwa and the fight between his family and the Zambian government on where he's going to be buried and what circumstances he's going to be buried under. So according to Phoenix FM, they said the family of former late President Edgar Chagwa has discussed it will not default on filing its appeal in the Supreme Court of South Africa, challenging the area High Court judgment last year that ordered the repatriation of his remains to Zambia. In an interview with Phoenix News, family spokesperson Makebi Zulu has confirmed that the preparations are underway to lodge the appeal on or before the 11th of February 2026 deadline. And today is what's the date today? So okay, there's still one more day before that deadline. Today is the 10th of February 2026. So if they don't file it in today, tomorrow the Zambian government will be in the right to repatriate that body. So let's wait and see if Makebi Zulu is going to hold a press briefing announcing to the nation whether they filed that appeal, but according to that headline, say before or on 11th February. So if they don't do it today, it seems like they can even do it tomorrow. But I think it would be ideal if they do it today if they're filing that in. Otherwise, waiting on the last day might not work well in their interest. And then 2026 deadline. And the family remains committed to pursuing avenues that will secure a dignified burial for former president. The appeal the appeal follows the 2025 December 23rd decision by the South African Court of Appeal granting family permission to challenge the area Pretoria High Court judgment that ordered Lungu's repatriation after rejecting families' request to bury former president in South Africa and initial denial of permission to appeal on the basis of there was no reasonable prospect of success. The case has since evolved into an 8-month long legal political standoff set against the backdrop of a long running between Mr. Lungu and his successor, President Hakainde Hichilema, and the family assertion that the late president expressed wishes about attendees at his funeral. So that's what's going on in South Africa with the Lungu family there. And obviously, Laura Miti put up another article. She's been writing a lot as we build up to the August general elections, and she put up a think piece saying, I have a thought for a while that Zambia needs a one-term president who comes almost as a caretaker and is not interested in staying in office. Everyone says that no, a one-term president would serve well. Everyone is not interested in power until they have an experience. And one person that can be given an example is Edgar Chagwa. For a while, if you remember, the main reason why he got the endorsement from most of the political giants at the time in Patriotic Front, that's GBM, Chimbagambuili and them, and Harry Karawa at the time, everyone thought he was not interested in power. Hence, it was ideal for him to even get the power. And once he got it, it changed. So anyway, she writes, an independent, not incumbent by the dead weight of the political party, full of people wanting jobs and access to the treasury. They can appoint ministers for whoever is in from whoever is in parliament. They could even have a small nominated member of parliament cabinet, and that's the finance and planning, education, health, agriculture, social welfare, home affairs, foreign affairs, mining, and project implementation at all. She's suggesting a one-term president and the ideal format to play out. The main duty of this president would be to oversee the national introspection, a system of strengthening process that would be write a strong constitution centered on ensuring and ordinary Zambians benefit from all of the country's resources, and the political power is used for the advancement of citizens and the nation. Developing a system that controls to address developing systems and controls that address our endemic corruption. Creating an electoral system that will ensure a solid intra and inter-party democracy that allows for meritocracy in leadership, and initiating a move for Lusaka's centrism, whatever word she created there, pretty much saying the centrality of Lusaka as a capital city of activities, a real decentralization, pretty much focusing on decentralization with the aim of making every provincial headquarters a desired place to reside and making rural areas a real part of Zambia. This cannot be done in one term, but can be solidly initiated. And pretty much that's a suggestion. So she's suggesting that we have a one-term president, and he simply comes in and does that. But everyone will say, I'm coming in as a one-term president, and once they have a taste of power, they don't want to leave. They want to contest. That's just the reality of human beings. So I don't see that working. But anyway, that's a suggestion. And then obviously breaking news, Patriotic Front Quito District Leadership pretty much has endorsed Brian Mundwile for 2026 elections. PF still doing that drama in the backdrop. They say there's an endorsement, there's no endorsement, that drama continues. And then one must be at least 30 years old by 31st May of the election year in order to qualify for one of the 15 seats reserved for youth in parliament. So it seems like they're putting the criteria according to Electoral Commission of Zambia. Probably cannot be above 30 years because since our terms in parliament run for 5 years, so and youth in Zambia is classified to end by the age of 35. So it seems like all the youths that will be appointed during this tenure can only be one-term members of parliament, are nominated members of parliament. Maybe a younger person, if they appoint someone maybe at 25 years and then you run for 2 terms, maybe that can work. But otherwise, if you are nominated at 30 years, you can only run for 1 term in that format. And then that's in the Daily Nation, that's in the Times of Zambia, and then that's in the Mass newspaper. And that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. Have a beautiful day.